Picture this. You get charged with a crime. You hire a lawyer. That lawyer spends months in court arguing that you should be basically untouchable, that a president can't be prosecuted for almost anything he does in office. You win, you get reelected, and then you make your own defense lawyer the top law enforcement officer in the country. That's not a thought experiment. That's Todd Blanche. And a day from now, the Senate Judiciary Committee votes on whether to make it permanent. Todd Blanche isn't a career prosecutor who climbed the ladder. He's not a U.S. attorney with a decade of DOJ experience behind him. He was Donald Trump's personal criminal defense attorney. He represented him in the hush money case. He co-wrote the Supreme Court brief arguing presidents deserve near total immunity from prosecution for official acts, the argument the court largely bought in Trump versus United States. Then Trump won in 2024, and the guy who spent the campaign defending Trump in court got nominated to be his deputy attorney general, confirmed in March 2025, 52-46, straight down party lines. That's not a conflict of interest red flag. That's the whole flag. Fast forward to April 2026. Attorney General Pam Bondi is out. And who steps in as acting Attorney General? Blanche. His own deputy job doesn't even need replacing. He's just running both jobs at once. 2 months later, Trump makes it official. He wants Blanche as the permanent Attorney General of the United States. Not, we'll consider other qualified candidates. His guy, his former lawyer, running the Justice Department that, in theory, is supposed to be able to investigate him. On top of that, Blanche has been also sitting as an acting librarian of Congress since May 2025, an appointment that's disputed as illegal outright because that's not even how you're supposed to fill that job. This isn't a guy getting handed one plum job. This is a guy getting handed the whole shelf. Here's where it stops being a resume problem and becomes an actual scandal. At his confirmation hearing on July 15th, Republican Senator John Cornyn, not a Democrat, a Republican, pushed Blanche on something called the DOJ's anti-weaponization fund, $1.8 billion. The fund was set up in effect as a deal to protect Trump, his family, and his businesses from IRS audits. Cornyn asked Blanche point blank to confirm in writing that this deal was dead. Blanche wouldn't do it, and under questioning, he admitted Trump could still sue to enforce the arrangement. Sit with that for a second. The man who used to be Trump's personal lawyer was, as acting attorney general, negotiating a deal that protects Trump and his businesses from federal audits. And he is Trump's former lawyer and the government's top law enforcement officer at the same time. He's on both sides of the table. There's no table anymore. It's the same guy sitting in every chair. That's not my framing. That's just what happened in a public hearing, on the record, with a Republican senator asking the questions. I want to be fair here. This isn't purely a partisan pile-on. After that 2-day hearing, at least 2 Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, Cornyn and North Carolina's Tom Tillis, walked out undecided. Not no, undecided. That's rare for a president's own party on his own AG pick. It only takes one Republican no in committee to sink this nomination before it even reaches the floor. That's how uneasy some of them are. The committee was supposed to vote last week. They pushed it back. Officially, standard practice, but it happened right as scrutiny over the anti-weaponization fund and Blanche's handling of the Epstein files were heating up. The new vote is scheduled for July 30th. The New York City Bar Association went further, formally urging the Senate to reject him, citing his record on prosecutorial independence, questions about violations of court orders, and what they called misplaced loyalty to the president over the rule of law. Look, Cabinet picks having some connection to the president isn't new. Loyalty isn't automatically disqualifying, but there's a difference between loyal and conflicted. Blanche isn't someone who happens to agree with Trump's politics. He is literally the guy who used to bill Trump by the hour to keep him out of prison. And now he's the guy deciding what the Justice Department investigates, who it protects, and how far $1.8 billion in anti-weaponization money reaches into shielding the president's own finances. If you designed a system explicitly to erase the line between the president's personal legal defense and the nation's law enforcement, you would build exactly this. And now it's just a day away from becoming permanent. If you want to actually do something before July 30th, the two senators whose votes matter most are Cornyn and Tillis. Here is their links, and I will also leave their contact information in the description below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.